Hello, everyone. I'm your host for today's College Tennis Diaries. My name is Naomi Karki, and I'm 15 years old. I live in New Jersey in the United States of America, and I'm currently a ninth grader in high school. I'm also a student athlete myself, a tennis player, and I aspire to play college tennis at the top level, just like Akanksha. Um, for today's episode of College Tennis Diaries, we will be interviewing Akanksha Bhan. The goal of College Tennis Diaries in general is for me, the host, to highlight the path, the struggles, the achievements of the top college tennis players in the United States as they compete in college tennis. For today, I'm going to be introducing Akanksha Bhan, who's India's star tennis player. Let's give her a nice welcome. So Akanksha is, just to give a little bit of background, Akanksha is a sophomore in Columbia University in New York, and she played first singles for the college tennis team. In October of 2019, she became the first ever Columbia women's tennis player to advance to the prestigious ITA All-American main draw. While she was a freshman, she earned all Ivy League second team honors in both singles and doubles. And just a little bit of background to her junior career. She was the former number 1 player for the Girls 18 national ranking in India, and she was the All India Clay National Clay Court champion in 2017. She also won multiple national school championships for her team and the individual level. In the ITFs, she was ranked as high as 110 in the world, the junior ITF rankings. And she's also a 2-time grade 4 ITF champion in singles. She also actually, in 2018, qualified for the main draw in the Australian Open Juniors, which is really cool. And a lot of people actually may not know this, but she's also a top spelling bee competitor as well. How did you get into that, by the way?
That must be during the time when I was not that much into tennis. But but yeah, I always wanted to make it to the international level of spelling bee. But
That's
then that never happened because I had to drop the national level tournament because of this under 10 finals that I got into.
oh, okay.
So yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's really interesting. Not a lot of people can say that. So why don't we get started? I'd like to know a little bit about your junior career, so I guess before college tennis. So how did you get into tennis? Like, how was it? How did you get started? Who introduced it?
My sister used to play tennis before me, so she's 4 years older to me, and I used to skate first, but then at the age of 7, I got inspired by her playing tennis, and then that's when I decided I just wanted to play tennis for fun. That time it was just for fun, but yeah.
That's cool. And then how did you decide to, I guess, pursue it like at a more serious level?
Yeah, so I started off by playing just state level tournaments at the age of 10, and then I kept doing well, and then I didn't win a lot in juniors, but at the end of my juniors, so like 18s, when I started playing 18s, I started doing really well, and I peaked the last 2 years of my junior tennis. So that's when I think we decided that I wanted to focus not only on academics, but also trying to pursue a career in tennis.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Um, and did you have like along the way in your junior tennis career, even now, who do you think influenced you the most to, I guess, try your best, or just in general in your tennis journey?
Definitely my sister, my family, my coaches who have always been there for me. Um, yeah, they've been there for me whenever I needed and they've been my constant support even today. It doesn't matter if I'm playing for Colombia or if I'm here. They've always been there for me and helped me every single step of the way.
Yeah, that's really great to have that support. I think, do you think that in general all athletes need that type of support in order to like pursue at a further level?
Oh yeah, for sure. You do need some kind of motivation to keep going. And for me, my family and my coaches have always been there for me. So I think for me it was very important, and so I believe that um, that's very crucial for someone who's trying to pursue a career in tennis.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely. Lastly, do you have any significant moments that pop to mind in terms of maybe victories or achievements in your junior tennis career?
There's a few. I think the most cherished moment for me would be the Australian Open
Mhm.
when I qualified 3 rounds. And the last qualifying round was when I beat a higher ranked player, and it was a real special moment for me. And just playing at the Australian Open venue it was something different. Yeah, and then um, I think the time I won the nationals
Mhm.
um, in Chennai, which is like south of India.
Mhm.
Yeah, I played amazing there. I remember winning at least one set by 6-0 in every single round, including the finals. Um, and then I also won an ITF grade 4 in Hyderabad 2 years in a row. So I think it has been a very special journey for me so far.
Mhm. That's great. Yeah. I think it's so important, especially when you're going to your college tennis career, to like have those memories with you. It gives you a lot of confidence. I'll just take this time just to say if anyone has any questions, you can just leave it, and then towards the end, we'll open it up to questions from the audience. So just leave them in the comments, and we'll answer some of your questions as well. So now, going a little bit more into your college tennis career, um, when if you do remember, when do you think you decided, that college tennis was an option for you, and how did you navigate that choice?
Yeah, so the during the time I started my process to play college tennis, it was not really a thing in India. So we were trying to explore our options as to what to do after I graduate high school. And that's when I did Sport, which is a company that helped me connect with Columbia and other colleges in order to pursue my dream. That's when they approached me, and that's when I came to know that it's an option for me, and if I can get a good balance of academics and tennis, because academics was something that I did not want to sacrifice on. Um, yeah, so that's I think when we decided, it was grade 11 when we decided to, try and explore colleges for college tennis, because we also knew that training abroad is really high level and could prove good for me in the future, but it's also very expensive. And college tennis was a way for me to get that level of training in the least expensive manner, and also like pursue my dreams and represent the college of my choice at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Do you think that the college tennis is like a good way for you to maybe in the future transition to pro tennis, or do you think?
Yeah, I definitely want to pursue professional tennis. but just the fact that I have been doing good in academics as well just gives me an option to, rely on my degree in case something doesn't work out. You never know.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, do you want to take like questions as we go or
We can take them at the end. We have people track the questions as well.
okay, sounds good.
Um, so now going a little bit into Colombia specifically, your coach, Eileen Weintraub, who is the Colombia women's tennis head coach for all those who weren't aware, she was actually my zonals team coach. Are you there? Okay.
Sorry.
She was actually my zonals team coach last year at Wake Forest University. And as a coach, she was just so cool and calm and collected. And she actually said this about you. Akanksha is one of the most selfless players, extremely hardworking, and has that second gear that she can go to like Serena. So how important has do you think your coach been in your college tennis journey so far?
I remember her saying this to me even when I used to practice on court at Columbia, and I don't know if she's watching right now, but I really miss playing for Columbia, and it was devastating that we missed our season this year. But um, the nature and the coach was one of the most crucial factors for me in deciding where I wanted to play and where I wanted to study. Eileen and Eileen and then two assistant co Eileen and then two assistant coaches who have been there for me whenever I needed. And then you in juniors you have a coach dedicated to you who's there for you, who travels with you at tournaments and, advises you, guides you through what you need to work on and what you did well. So the team here at Columbia is the same for me. They're like a family to me, and then they they always are honest with me and provide me with the best advice that I can get. I was also not a very good doubles player in juniors, so they have helped me a lot to get better, not only at doubles, but it helped me improve as a player even in singles.
So, when you were choosing Columbia University, I'm assuming both, like all of these that played a part in, helping you guide you through your decision, like the coach, the teammates as well. So you got to meet your teammates when you were checking out different universities, or like you got to
Yeah,
see.
I got to see a few of them, but I visited the US during a weird time, so I couldn't really get to meet all of them. But I did get to see the coaches, and yeah, I fell in love with Columbia the moment I stepped on campus. So yeah.
That's great. So of course, you also mentioned several times that you wanted to pursue academics also at a further level. So why, when you chose to attend Columbia University, what led you to deciding to major in economics?
Yeah, so Columbia offered me the best possible balance between academics and tennis. It is one of the best Ivy League schools. It is one of the best schools and a prestigious Ivy League college. So it is a dream come true for me. Even today, I see the campus and I just cannot believe that I go here. And so it's tough. It's not easy to be a student athlete at a college like Columbia, but um, you just have to work through it. And for me, economics at Columbia is also one of the toughest courses to pursue, but I decided to major in economics in high school as in my senior year, and I I was always interested in learning about the economies, and also I scored pretty well in school, so it was a reassuring fact for me that I can do this. It's
Okay,
not impossible.
that's good. So can you just walk us through like a regular day in at Columbia University as a student athlete? Like, what are your typical habits? What would you do on a daily basis?
Yeah, so we have morning agilities twice a week, and then morning lifts twice or three times a week, depends on if we have competition that weekend. Also, for those of you who don't know a lot about college tennis, we usually have competition and matches on the weekend. So we usually train through the week, and then we have matches almost every weekend. Um, and then, so we have classes scheduled around the time of practice. So for me, it's usually classes in the morning and practice right after. And then it also involves like doing rehab or physiotherapy and just like stuff to, make sure you're recovered enough for the next day. And then some of us take classes in the evening, so that would be after tennis practice. And the night usually involves studying for the most part, and then we usually have matches on Saturday and Sunday, sometimes Friday as well, and sometimes we travel on Thursday or Friday if it's an away match. So we kind of have to adjust our schedules accordingly. The day before would be, the day before the match would be a lighter practice, and just making sure you're on top of not only, your tennis and what you need, but also like academics and classes. We have assignments almost every day, so you have to kind of make sure that the work doesn't keep piling up. So the weekend usually involves either playing tennis matches, or, catching up with work. Yeah, and then if you play a match on Sunday, then we get Mondays off usually just to recover, relax, and catch up on academics.
Yes. Do you think that you're in India when you were balancing junior tennis and academics? Do you think that prepared you, or was it a bit hard to adjust in the first year?
No, definitely it prepared me. I was used to, managing both at the same time, but Columbia is definitely, and college is definitely harder, and it's a greater workload. So it took me some time to adjust. There was also an international system of how things work and how assignments work. So it was a bit tough for me to adjust in the beginning. But definitely the way I handled academics and tennis since the very beginning in school helped me a lot when I went to Columbia.
That's good. Um, so you also mentioned that during the competition weekends, um, you would have it as time to like catch up for academics and also play your college tennis matches. So what was the schedule like on these weekends? Was it more busy or do you get more free time?
It's usually busy because we have to start preparing 2 hours before the match time. So we would, if we have a match at 11, then we leave at 9 and then kind of warm up. And the matches usually last for 2 to 3 hours. And after that, we have a sort of team meeting, discuss about how it went, what we can do better, and all of that. And then we just take some time to recover. We usually have team dinners the same night, try to hang out together, relax, because match days are always tiring. But then at the end of the day, you still have to make sure you do well on the academic side. So every day is usually busy for you, but not having tennis is very frustrating for us, especially after season is over,
Yeah.
because we're kind of used to the same schedule, and we kind of fit our time to work on assignments and classes around tennis. And so when we don't have that, it's kind of hard to be productive,
Mhm.
which is weird, but yeah.
I especially in quarantine, like a lot of people are definitely going through something similar. Like, it's hard at first adjusting to that busy schedule, but then once you get used to it, and then it's just like you just have all this free time, and it's like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
so going back to the team a little bit more, I had the opportunity of playing several like team competitions as a junior as well, and I feel like the team competition, like it's so much different from playing individually at like your regular tournaments. Um, and I think especially for tennis players, it's so rare to get that same team experience in junior tennis that you are getting in college tennis. So for you, how important is that has that team aspect been for you? And for your specific teammates, how do they help you throughout your uh, college tennis matches?
Yeah, so tennis is basically an individual sport, and it's actually a good thing that you get to play college tennis and you get to be on a team like every other sport. Um, so it's definitely fun. I love my team. I didn't get to meet them before I committed to Colombia, but it didn't take us a lot of time to, vibe and get together, get to know each other well. We are very close. We're best friends, and we help each other on and off the court. I don't know if anyone on my team is watching, but they have helped me become a better player, if not anything. And I miss all of them a lot right now. It helps you give good practice, and it's always good to have people around you who are in the same boat and can help you get through things. Um, so it has definitely been a positive and supportive environment for me, especially being abroad and not having my immediate family around like I was used to. So I could say that I found a new home at Columbia, and the team was my first group of friends that I got to know. So I'm really lucky to have that. And as student athletes, this is one of the advantages you get, that at college it's hard to make best friends, but it's hard to get to know people, hard to make friends, but this team is like your immediate go-to. So yeah.
So also, do you have when you think of like your matches for Columbia University, um, just anything that comes to mind when I say like what was your best match, or not, maybe not necessarily win, but just in general, what do you think was the best match you played?
As a team, I love playing the ECACs, which is the Eastern Conference. Like it's a mini Ivy League conference tournament. Um, it involves like colleges other than Ivy Leagues, but it's mainly Eastern Coast. Um, but we have been winning the championship since the last 2 years, and these matches have been very special for me. Um, and as for my individual favorite match from this year would be against Yale. It was during ECACs as well, and that's when I played the number 1 player at Yale. She was also ranked number 46, I think. Yeah. And we had a tough three-setter match. I have been injured this past year, but I was glad to pull that through, and it was a very very good match, and yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, my
Did the
coach said it. Yeah.
um did the team help you through that? Like, how were they a part in that? Vic, you guys won that match, right? So
Yeah.
you were the clincher, or was that someone
I
else?
was not the clincher. Shivani was the clincher,
Okay.
but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so, but still, even with a especially three-set match, how did you feel like when your um teammate, you like the pressure was kind of on your teammate? How do you think your team helped support her to winning the match?
Yeah, it was a tough match because I think we won that match 4-3,
Oh,
and it all came down to Shivani in the end, and she was really nervous, but we were there for her and we believed in her, and I just um the team was supporting me as well, but I was just trying to get through the match and trying to get the win because I know how much it mattered to everyone.
yeah.
And I remember I was really tired, and it was a lot, but I'm glad I pulled through it, and I was really happy. But we hadn't finished the match yet, so not much of a reaction at the time.
I-
But I know how much that win mattered. We would have lost that match if I hadn't won. But yeah, every single match counted, and that.
Yeah, so I think that's also like a really important part. It's like, I feel like a lot of times people talk about, who's the last match, who's the last person that won, and especially these close matches. And it's like, it's just the whole team is a part of it. Like, even if, that person was the last one to win the match, you still wouldn't have won the match if it weren't for everyone else still part of the team. Um, so now we're going to transition a little more into the rapid fire sort of questions. They're just to get to know you and what you liked about New York City. So first, what is your most favorite place in New York City?
Times Square and downtown.
Okay, any reason?
Um, I think that's one of the first places I went to when I visited New York my first time. So it's just New York City in general is a really special place for me, and downtown has really good restaurants that you can go to and a lot of dessert shops, and I love desserts. So yeah.
Um, so I mean, I guess you maybe kind of said this, but best food joint in New York City, and with
It's I yeah. I haven't been to a lot of restaurants, but one that I can think of is Mason's Pickle that has really good mac and cheese, and they also have the 24-layer cakes
oh,
that I have never seen anywhere else. But New York City, my favorite place, is also Levain Bakery, which has the best chocolate chip cookies, chocolate chip walnut cookies.
that's nice. I do they have chocolate cakes? I love chocolate.
Yeah, Mason's Pickle actually has the 24-layer chocolate cake. They have chocolate and red velvet, but
Oh,
it's a lot. I don't think you can finish it.
yeah, maybe I could try.
Yeah.
Um,
Next time we meet up.
yeah, we could. Yeah, we'll just eat a 24-layer cake. um,
Done.
so what I'm sure you have seen quite a few places in New York City being there, but is there anything that's still, I guess, on your bucket list for New York City?
Yeah, I want to see a Broadway musical, and I have not done that yet.
Oh, I,
Yeah, it's
I so
I yeah, it's supposed to be a really good experience, and that's like one of the things you do when you're in New York. So, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I wish
Your
it.
dad says no chocolate cake.
Yes, it's okay. Well, yeah.
Once
Um,
in a while is fine.
yeah, it's okay. I won't eat any junk food for like a few months, a year, and then I'll just dig into that. Um, so in New York City, I know you in India there wasn't a lot of snow, but what do you think was your best weather? What do you think is the best weather season in New York City for any reason?
Except snowfall, I would say the fall season because it's not that cold and I like the hot weather more. But
Yeah,
then snowfall again is a different sight to see.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Uh,
Yeah. I live on the West Coast here, so I don't get to see snowfall, but it's beautiful up in the north.
yeah, I can. Yeah, I've been there actually a couple times, not much, but it's really pretty there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there anything that you would like to share to everyone that maybe not a lot of people know about you or we haven't covered?
Um, yeah, I could say that as a team, as the women's tennis team, we all started a group called FAST. It stands for Female Athletes Stand Together. And it's just basically a group we started on campus for all female student athletes on campus, just to get together and just to be there for each other and talk about any opportunities in terms of like academics or just in general like finding a group of friends. We have speakers every now and then, and um, we try to get together, meet up, and do some community service or things like that. So it's something that is special to me and my team. And I've always wanted to do that here in India, and I wish I can do that someday.
Yeah, that's really great. Especially getting involved, like even other than tennis, just in general with your college. That's a great idea.
Yeah, community service is actually a big thing in the US
Yeah,
that I wish was included in the colleges in India. I have not seen that level of dedication like the US.
yeah. They have us. We have to do community service as well for a high school. Like we have a required number of hours to do. I think it's great because, like, at least for me, a lot of the people that I know are very um, open to it, and they really appreciate like the opportunity to help other people, and we're learning a lot from it as well. So,
Yeah.
hopefully, maybe they can implement that more in India as well. So now I have some questions from the audience that they were saying throughout, so we can just go through it. Um, so first one from Anish. How did you? Oh no, this was quite different. um, sorry, we'll move to Manoj. What keeps you going, or what is your driving force? So I guess like motivation.
Um, I think it's just something, this is something I love,
Mhm.
tennis, and even in terms of like academics, it's something I love doing. And I think you need to have that in order to, pursue what you want and just, persevering towards that. You're going to have your ups and downs, but that shouldn't, drag you down. It should only motivate you more to keep going and work hard.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely feel that as well. Like, it's just a general thing. Like, you just want to try your best and do your best and like be the best you can be. And um, I can definitely relate to the perseverance part as well. I think it's like coming back from the time, anytime you're down or like maybe not you're at your highest level, and when you like recover, it helps you a lot in your confidence like for the future as well. Because like each time you keep getting back up, it's like okay, like I can do this, and then the next time if you're knocked back down, you won't feel as bad or discouraged from it as well.
Right.
Um, so let's see another question. Um, oh, one from Manish. How do you always maintain your calmness on the court, even off the court?
Um, uh, I think one of the things is meditation for me. I've been doing that since I was young in school, and I think that's that's like one of the key factors that has helped me stay calm on and off the court. I'm also like not, I do get I am short-tempered sometimes, but then it's about like getting it back together as soon as you can instead of like doing something out of anger.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Um, okay, now one question from Rohit. Is your younger brother going to play for India?
I hope so. I'm rooting for him. Yeah.
Um, one question from Kosturi, I think. Sorry if I messed that up. Um, what are the typical scholarship opportunities for Indian tennis players?
So there's three divisions in the US for college sports, Division 1, 2, and 3. And it differs in boys and girls. Girls typically have more number of scholarships um, because boys usually have football or rugby, as they call it in India, and a lot of the scholarships go towards that. But the scholarship percentage or amount differs based on like your level and how much they want you to be on the team. Most of the times like you get full scholarships, and in Ivy League schools it's based on financial aid. You usually don't get scholarships, so it's based on financial aid. But yeah, girls definitely have more number of scholarships than boys in tennis.
Okay. Um, now one question from I think it says Mubid. I'm sorry if I messed up his name. But what are your upcoming plans? In term, I think you touched a little bit upon this, but in terms of tennis or even academics.
I have 2 more years in college tennis, so I would be focusing on doing as well as I can in that, and I definitely want to pursue professional tennis after that. But also at the same time, doing well on the academic side, and definitely pursuing a master's degree is something that has been on my mind and that I would like to do at some point.
Mhm. That's yeah, that's definitely good to hear. Like doing both the tennis and academics at the highest level. It's good. Um, I can't read this name. I think it's Acherne. Um, sorry.
Uh,
So her question was, please explain what steps help manage studies and tennis in India.
um, I it was it was not it is not as hard as you think it is. You just have to. I used to do this. I still do. I used to draw out a schedule for myself, and like this is the time when I play tennis. Like this is the time I come back. I take a break. I study for this long, and then I take a break again and get my work done. So it's not hard. It's also important not to have a lot of distractions, like mobile phones or Netflix. It could be anything, games. But there's a time for that as well. But it's important that you focus on what is needed to be done at the same time.
Um, one more question. This is actually from my dad. Who is your favorite professional tennis player for men's and women's? Why?
I love Federer a lot, and female, I I like Simona Halep. She
Okay.
works really hard.
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely like her her hard work on the court and like she just keeps going at
Yeah,
it.
it's inspiring,
Yeah.
honestly.
I can actually, yeah, I can see some similarity actually in your game and her game, yeah. And why Federer? It's just that just like
Yeah, it's
yeah.
hard not to like him.
Um, so lastly, for all of the Indian young tennis players watching today, what would be your advice to them who want to pursue tennis through college in the U.S. or Europe?
I think college tennis is a good opportunity, especially for people who have the potential but maybe don't have um, the the finances, or like college tennis is a great opportunity and a segue to professional tennis. And I know a lot of players. I have a lot of friends who are playing college tennis right now, and they're doing really well. And if you are even thinking about professional tennis, it's not easy to go pro. It takes a lot. It's a lot of hard work, but then playing college tennis is probably a good choice for you because even if you are not able to go pro, you definitely have your academic achievements to rely back on. And it's not, you won't be like, oh, I have nothing else I can do. You have other qualities on your in your life that you can use to, do something good with your life.
I think I saw one more interesting question. Did you, I think it's the last one, did you face a hard time in your career and how did you rebound from
Um, Yeah, for sure. There have been times when I was not able to perform at my best, and I wasn't able to, do as well as other players or as I was expected to do. But you cannot always win, and you have your ups and downs, but you have to keep working hard, and giving in your 100% and believe in yourself and your coaches and everyone who's there for you. They're only there to, see you become successful. Yeah, I've always been a hard worker, and I maybe don't have as much of a natural talent in terms of tennis, but what I am today and the level I am at today is only because of hard work and perseverance and determination, which is a big thing. You have to believe in yourself.
Mhm. Definitely, yeah. That's great to hear because like a lot of times like in sports, some people, not even parents but kids as well, think like okay, like I don't have the natural talent for this, so like I can't be good at it. But if people just keep persevering, like it doesn't it doesn't matter. At one point, talent is like can be is overtaken by hard work as well. Because if you just keep putting your mind to it, you just keep improving, being progressive with your sport, then, you never know how good you can become.
Yeah,
Um,
rightly
and
said.
yeah, thank you. Um, do you have you just out of curiosity, but have you played any other sports like when you were younger? And like, how do you, if you did, how do you think they helped in tennis or even watching other sports as well?
I used to skate when I was young, but I dropped that as soon as I started playing tennis. So it is definitely one of the things that I wish I could have done. But nonetheless, I used to play a little bit of baseball and handball in school. But I think like playing other sports is important because it works on your different aspects like coordination and footwork or endurance or anything at all. Like it only like sharpens your skills.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I used to play soccer as well for a long time, actually, at a higher level. And that I definitely think when I was playing, like going between tennis and soccer, like I'd have soccer practice one day, and then when I went to tennis, I feel like it's just you're just adding to like your capabilities as an athlete, not only like the footwork, but like as you had like you said, like the endurance and just I think having as many skills as possible is like what can you lose?
Yeah,
that sort
definitely. Yeah.
of. You also mentioned that you skated. Is that like ice skating? I assume.
No, no, just normal. It was when I was 7 years old, so that's long back. And ice skating is not really a thing here.
Okay,
So yeah, but I would love to go ice skating in Central Park. I have not done that yet.
that's yeah. You should definitely. It's really, especially in like that if you go in the like when it's snowing, like it's like really pretty outside.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and let's see if there's any other questions, but I think
I think
that's
I saw one earlier about um, how to develop core strength. Any videos? How meditation plays role in your game preparations? Yeah. Um, core strength, definitely there's different exercises for that. I'm sure you can find a lot online. Also, if you need any more help with that, you can always reach out to me. And in terms of meditation, I'm used to visualizing before every match, and that's something that has helped me do well and stay calm throughout my matches. It's easier for me. It's easy to get into the game and focus if I meditate or visualize before going on.
Mhm. Yeah. The coaches, for my coaches, like they've told me a lot that the same thing as well. Like visualizing is a great part of tennis, and I think like especially since we've been in quarantine for a few months and a lot of people are not getting the opportunity to hit as much, visualization is just as important because then like when you go back onto the court, you already have an idea of like your style and like you don't kind of lose sense of your game.
Yeah.
Um, also, like obviously, I think transitioning from a different country or from India to the United States, like obviously was difficult. So, like, how did you overcome that? And like, are there any, um, I guess, significant like struggles that you had that you came through, and how did you do that?
New York City is actually similar to the city I live in. Like it's crowded, but a lot of people around you. So it was kind of a nice thing for me. But then at the same time, um, Ahmedabad is more spaced out, and the area I live in is very calm and not a lot going on around you. So it was definitely a tough transition, but living in New York City has always been a dream for me. And just being able to live and study there and do what I like all at the same time is really great. And if I had to do it all over again, I would definitely. And it's not easy staying away from family and friends in India, and all those things that you've loved about this place you've lived in for the last 18 years. But it's a part of life, and you just go with the flow. And I love Colombia a lot, and I love both places. So it could be tough sometimes. You miss family, but at the end of the day, like you gotta do what you gotta do. So
Yeah, definitely. Um, so I think we're gonna wrap up now. Um, but thank you for coming to this episode of College Tennis Diaries.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
There's more questions, but you can probably ask them to reach out personally. I don't know.
yeah, definitely. If you guys have any other questions or anything comes up even after we end, you can just message Akanksha through Instagram, DM,
Or
whatever.
Naomi.
Yeah, or me, yeah. Um, thank you so much for doing this and sharing your time with us. I'm sure everyone appreciated it as well.
Thank you so much. I also loved your articles that you wrote during
Uh,
this lockdown. They're amazing.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you everyone for joining.